Your Bible says in the King James that he that letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And just exactly what is that scripture referring to? It is referring to the Antichrist. And it is referring to God's will being done in earth as it is in heaven. For God, beloved, ordains and controls all things. The earth is indeed God's footstool, and the heavens his dwelling. Now, whose responsibility, what being is responsible for removing the Antichrist out of the land? It is you. What is man that thou art mindful of him? The most important book in the Bible I have found in my studies and my revelations from Tahuti concerning the scriptures come out of the first book of the Bible, Genesis. Everything I say to you is coded. It is overstood on a multitude of levels. Now let's look at a particular verse in the book of Genesis that says that the Spirit of God moved upon the surface of the deep. I say the Spirit of God moved upon the surface of the deep. I say the Spirit of God moved upon the surface of the deep. Those of us who practice Ifa and Santeria, Yoruba, and so forth, the most powerful feminine deity is associated with water, is it not? And by the way, my name is I Am, and I am the voice of God. I am the high priest of Amon, of that which is hidden. I say the Spirit of God moved upon the surface of the deep. And God said, let there be light. Now, what is light, my beloved? And how many spectrums of light is it? Is not man a vapor that appears for a little while and vanishes away? The Spirit bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst tell from whence it cometh, or whither it goeth. So is everyone that is born of the Spirit. Now when the day of power hath fully come, that is the day of Pentecost, cloven tongues of fire. I say cloven tongues of fire appear unto each and every one of them. And every man heard them speaking in their own tongue and in their own dialect. I say when the day of power had fully come. 5 is the number of power. 5, beloved, is rhythm. 6, my beloved, is cause and effect, the determiner. 7 is the creation of thy will being done in earth as it is in heaven. The Bible declares that there will not be water, but fire this time. He said that he would no longer destroy the earth by water, but by fire this time. The Bible declares that God maketh his ministers a flame of fire. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad declares that the fires, if I'm not mistaken, will ignite on the West Coast. And the fire shall ignite on the East Coast. The Bible even declares that even as the lightning shineth from the east, even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Lord be. My beloved, God has truly given us the keys to the kingdom. But you must first, beloved, realize Christ's consciousness, the power of God in you, and then in the earth. The Bible declares that there are 3 things that bear witness in the earth. And I know that the spirit and the water is 1 or 2. And at this particular time, for the life of me, in the blood. Spirit, the blood, and the water agree in 1. Beloved, the choice is yours. Step into your divine glory. Step into your power. Before hellfire and brimstone rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah, there were 4 men who communed together. Abraham and the 3 angels. And when one of the angels was departing from Abraham, he stepped into the fire and ascended. Did you hear what I said? Now, how do we activate the pyramid? You know how to activate the pyramid. If you would only go within. Now, first and foremost, you must activate the pyramid within yourself. Overstand the construction of the Great Pyramid. Overstand the construction of the Great Pyramid. Overstand the construction of the Great Pyramid. And overstand your power. My name is I Am, and I am the voice of God.